Smartwatches have really come a long way in these past couple of years. The latest watch to prove this was the GDR2 by Amazfit that I reviewed here in the last video on my channel. But now there's a new challenger in town. My name is Sebastian from TechCentury and I'm here to help you make the right purchasing decision. Welcome to my full review of the Zepp Z. Starting off with the price, the Zepp Z is available in the US for $349 and here in Germany for 349 euros. This means that it is significantly more expensive than the Amazfit GDR2 that comes in at $179 and that it sits right in the middle of the TicWatch Pro 3 or the Galaxy Watch 3 both at $299 and the Apple Watch Series 6 at $399. When it comes to smartwatches, there are 6 main aspects that are important to me. First off, design and build, performance, display, notifications, battery life and now also workout tracking. While on paper there are some similarities between the Zepp Z and the GDR2, the design and build are really what sets these watches apart. This premium experience already starts with the unboxing itself, where the box has a unique design with small details like these embossed logos on the side, and it continues with the presentation of the watch once you lift the lid. What really stands out is the body of the watch that is made out of titanium alloy that not only looks premium but also feels great while still being light at 40 grams. Similar to the Gear S3 that I own, the display on the Zepp Z is slightly recessed into the case, which I personally really enjoy because it offers extra protection. A really nice small detail are also the numbers on the bezel. These are not just printed on but actually embossed. The charger also received a nice upgrade from the one included in the GDR2 box and it's now heavier, rubberized and makes an overall more premium impression. The quality of the watch also shows when it comes to waterproofing. It can survive a depth of up to 50 meters for 10 minutes. Before we continue, I want to take a minute to thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoy it and I would really appreciate it if you could hit the subscribe button and the bell so that you get to see more of my reviews in the future. Every single one of you counts and makes it possible for me to produce more content. The performance of the Zepp Z with the custom OS is fast and fluid. During my roughly 2 weeks of using it, I can't remember ever experiencing stutters or app crashes. Everything runs very smoothly and reliable. One downside of the custom OS is that at the time of testing this watch there is no app store available, so you can't install any third-party apps. For my usage, I never felt like I needed additional apps, but if you're intending to use a specific service, like Strava for example, this unfortunately isn't possible as of right now. In terms of Watchfaces, there are a handful pre-installed using the Zepp app that is available for Android and iOS. On your phone, you can then download more and transfer them directly to your watch using Bluetooth. Currently, there are about 50 different ones to choose from. While this is sufficient for me personally and most people, it is important to note that other smartwatches, like the ones from Samsung, have a stronger ecosystem with hundreds and hundreds to choose from. In terms of physical buttons, we have 3 on the right side of the watch at first glance. However, this is actually deceiving because the upper button is actually not usable at all, it's just a design element. In the middle, we then find the digital crown that you can press to access the app drawer or to return to the home screen when you're in a menu. Rotating the crown then allows you to easily scroll through the menus without blocking the screen. There's also a taptic engine built into the watch which gives you additional feedback as well. Below that, you'll then find the workout button that gives you quick access to a variety of different workouts. By default, 12 different workouts are listed, but you can also customize and rearrange the sections to your preference. The display of the Zepp Z is a round 1.39-inch AMOLED display with a resolution of 454 by 454 pixels and a brightness of 550 nits. These good specs on paper fortunately also result in a very nice user experience, delivering vivid colors, true blacks and a crisp image, even in small details such as the heart rate graph. The high brightness also results in good outdoor visibility. In direct comparison, the display seems a bit brighter than on my GDR2, but not quite as bright as on the Gear S3 at maximum brightness. The touchscreen also performed well during my testing. When it comes to notifications, I personally only activated Gmail and WhatsApp on the Zepp Z so that my wrist isn't vibrating all the time, and these notifications were always reliably shown and easy to read, which satisfies my personal needs. That being said, it's important to mention that you can't reply directly to these notifications from the watch itself, something that is possible, for example, on other smartwatches such as the Gear S3. Moving on to the battery life, the Zepp Z features a 340 mAh battery, which is significantly smaller than the 471 mAh battery in the GDR2 and even smaller than the 380 mAh battery in the Samsung Gear S3. Despite that, I was very happy with the battery life of the watch during my time testing it. With the always-on display enabled and wearing the watch 24 hours a day with sleep tracking at night, the watch lasted me 5 days, 2 hours and 18 minutes. Without the always-on display, of course, the battery life is even longer. While I haven't been working out a lot during the past year, the GDR2 and Zepp Z actually motivated me to go running again. On my outdoor runs, I usually run 5 kilometers, which is 3.1 miles at a time, and I love how the watch actually maps my runs with GPS and also displays me my heart rate in real time. Especially for a beginner like me, this is great so that I don't overpace. The maps created with the GPS were always pretty accurate during my runs in the city. The only issue I had was that on one day the watch dropped and regained the GPS signal like 10 to 15 times, which was annoying. On my other runs I didn't have these issues though, so I think it's a one-off thing. During a 5-kilometer run with GPS tracking and heart rate monitoring enabled, the watch only consumes around 5% battery, which is also great to see. Since I don't have professional testing equipment, I can't really judge how accurate the distance and heart rate tracking were. I can only say that compared to my Galaxy S10, tracking the same run with Strava, the distance recorded on the phone was roughly 5% shorter than on the Zepp Z. For me as a beginner, this small difference in recorded distance doesn't really bother me personally, but for professional workouts you might need something that's more accurate. In terms of voice assistance, the Zepp Z not only features a proprietary offline voice control system, but has also already received the Alexa update. In my testing, setting up Alexa and using it worked absolutely fine. If you press the crown for 3 seconds, Alexa is enabled and it understood me well. However, the Zepp Z doesn't feature a speaker, which means that you don't get any voice feedback from Alexa, which is a bit unusual. You just see the answer on the screen. This lack of a speaker also means that you can't directly answer calls on the Zepp Z, something that's possible on the GDR2. The Zepp Z is by far the most beautiful and elegant smartwatch that I've ever owned, and I'm continuously impressed by the titanium case with its small details, the very good battery life, fast performance and great screen. This is also what makes this verdict difficult for me, because I really love this watch. For those of you who are looking for a sleek and elegant watch that you can also wear in a business environment, the Zepp Z is an amazing choice that I can highly recommend, especially if you have the money to spend. If you don't belong into this small niche, well then my recommendation is different. See, the biggest problem for me in recommending the Zepp Z is this watch, the Amazfit GDR2. It not only retails for almost half the price, but it also packs a bigger battery, a speaker, local storage for offline music listening, which makes it a better value for most. In the future, I really hope that all the nice features of the GDR2 and some extra ones will be implemented in the Zepp Z product line to set it apart not only when it comes to design, but also functionality. The charger is also a good example here. While it certainly is nicer than the one included in the GDR2, I still much prefer the S3 charger on my Gear S3, because it's also a stand and just feels way more solid overall. If you have any questions, please leave them below in the comments, where I always do my very best to help you guys out. A big thanks also goes out to Zepp for sending out this watch for review.